Welcome, Joseph Kendo here. Today, we'll be talking about the Silver Serpent, the highly customized Colt Anaconda crafted masterfully for STAR's Alpha Team member, Barry Burton. Before we get into the Silver Serpent, let's take a brief moment to talk about the man himself. By 1998, Barry was already an accomplished individual. He was a former airman with an exceptional knowledge of firearms, as well as having served in the same unit as fellow STARS member Chris Redfield.
Chris and I go back a long way.
All right.
He would go on to join STAR's Alpha Team sometime after leaving the Air Force as their backup man, his role being to supply and maintain weapons for his compatriots. Now, let's get to the real star of the show. This special revolver was custom-made for Barry Burton by the legendary gunsmith, Joseph Kendo, the creator of the famous Samurai Edge and the brother of KendoGunShop owner, Robert or Bob Kendo. Starting life as a Colt Anaconda, a premium .44 Magnum revolver produced by Colt in the early 90s, the only thing that would remain unchanged on the Silver Serpent would be the frame. Starting out front, the most notable modification would be the barrel and its accompanying underlug. The Silver Serpent is sporting a bull barrel for added stiffness and increased accuracy, as well as a PPC-style heavy underlug underneath the barrel for added weight in the front to help tame the recoil of the .44 Magnum cartridge. The Silver Serpent also boasts an unfluted cylinder. While the positives and negatives of a traditional fluted versus a non-fluted cylinder can be argued, I think we can all agree that the unfluted cylinder really lends itself well to the aesthetic of Barry's revolver. Next up, we have the wooden grips. These grips are inlaid with gold medallions on each side, as well as being checkered in the front and sides of the grip to provide a better surface to hold on to. Fun fact, the texture for Barry's Silver Serpent indicates that B. Burton was meant to be engraved into the grip. This didn't make it into the game, however, but the B. Burton engraving can still be seen in the grip's texture file. As for the rest of the customizations done to the Silver Serpent, the revolver also features an adjustable rear sight, a brass bead front sight, and an enlarged hammer. The Silver Serpent is the primary weapon wielded by Barry Burton in the Resident Evil Remake, where it made its first in-game appearance. In the original Resident Evil, however, we saw Barry with a different Magnum, the Colt Python, the .357 Magnum little brother to the Colt Anaconda. While the Python didn't survive the transition into the remake as Barry's personal firearm, there is, however, another Silver Serpent, of unknown origin, that's based off of the Python and chambered in .357 Magnum. It can be acquired by solving the optional puzzle with the headstones in the courtyard. Barry's Silver Serpent, on the other hand, can also be acquired in the remake, effectively giving the player two Silver Serpents. To get Barry's, though, you'll have to make a grave sacrifice. I don't want to steer your hand, but Barry's Silver Serpent can one-shot almost every boss in the game, with the exception of the Tyrant in his second battle, and Lisa Trevor. Be warned though, Barry's revolver only has 6 shots. While that is more than enough to kill anything that moves, I don't recommend you use this special revolver on the more common enemies. It's best suited for boss fights. There is no more ammunition for this special Magnum to be found anywhere else in the entire game. We don't see another appearance of this gun until Resident Evil 5. In the Mercenaries reunion, we see Barry Burton make a guest appearance, and he's armed with the Silver Serpent once again. Barry would return in his Resident Evil Remake STARS attire, and with that being said, he carries the revolver in his leather holster rig on his flak vest. During gameplay, the Silver Serpent cannot be equipped in combat. That's because Barry is designed to use his custom Samurai Edge, which also returns from the Resident Evil Remake, but this time as his primary use weapon. The Silver Serpent, on the other hand, has been given a more backseat role and will only be used in the melee attacks Miranda Rights and Gun Bash. Upon closer inspection of the Silver Serpent's appearance in Resident Evil 5, you may notice that it looks a bit different than the original version seen in Resident Evil Remake. That's because this version would be the first time we got to see Barry's version 2 of his custom revolver. This iteration of the Silver Serpent would be the one we would go on to see in Resident Evil Revelations 2, 5 years later when it would be released in 2015, which makes for the perfect segue. Later in the series, in Resident Evil Revelations 2, With the return of Barry Burton, we also see the return of the famous Silver Serpent,
I have this.
known as the Magnum Python in-game. We'll talk about that name a bit later, but it mostly has the same custom performance modifications of the original Silver Serpent seen in the Resident Evil Remake, yet its appearance is altered slightly. This iteration of the Silver Serpent has the custom wood grips replaced by recoil-absorbing rubber grips, featuring finger grooves and an integrated laser module. It also has a fluted cylinder that was not seen on the original version, and the brass bead front sight has been replaced with a fiber optic one. Another change would be to the base gun itself. Formerly a Colt Anaconda chambered in .44 Magnum, the version featured in Revelations 2 and Resident Evil 5 seems to be based around the Smith & Wesson 500 Magnum, effectively making the name Magnum Python incorrect. That claim can be backed up by the giant size of the frame and cylinder of the revolver. There's also the maximum cylinder capacity of 5 rounds, the fact that it no longer has the Colt snake gun style cylinder release, and that Smith & Wesson and the Smith & Wesson logo can still barely be made out on the revolver's normal map texture. Now, if you're here, you may know about the airsoft gun replicas Capcom released with Tokyo Marui and Tanaka Works. While we have never had an official airsoft gun designed for the Silver Serpent, there have been a few community-made replicas that really deliver the glory of Barry's legendary weapon. The one we want to spotlight in this video was made by Yuri Custom Works, a Japanese fabricator who has made several of the custom firearms from the Resident Evil series, as well as his own custom designs complete with their own backstories. But I want to take the attention back to his Silver Serpent build, which is one of the most accurate ones I've seen and still functions as an airsoft gun. Yuri's recreation is insanely detailed, covering almost every customization done to Barry's Colt Anaconda. The bull barrel, the weighted underlug, the brass bead front sight, the unfluted cylinder, and the grip. However, the one thing that I will nitpick would be that Yuri's version of Barry's Silver Serpent does not feature the checkering on the grip. But that can be overlooked because the rest of the build is beautifully crafted, and I personally would love to own one of these Yuri Custom Works. The attention to detail and the craftsmanship is unmatched. So, that's it for Barry Burton's legendary Magnum, the Silver Serpent. Hopefully you learned something new about this masterpiece of a revolver. Be sure to check out the KendoGunShop Instagram page where it all started at Kendo.Gunshop. There, we post daily content appreciating the firearms and the characters that use them in the series, and showcase the latest Resident Evil-inspired community custom weapon builds, link in the description. And make sure to come back and visit us at the gun shop for more content about the firearms of Resident Evil.